I do want to say to Doni and many of you in this room that over a very long career in this city, all of you have helped me and my colleagues tell the truth and to try to tell.
I may not look like you and you me, but
Take my hat off.
I'm South Carolina, so I just.
What does this event mean to you, Miss Peggy Mars?
Oh, my heart.
Happy 20th anniversary.
My heart is about loving up on my sisters. Do you know what it feels like to have your sisters in the room? Done.
And dare to be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. I am beautiful, I am blessed, but not just what you see in the flesh. I'm free from people, free from myself.
The doctor lived next door to the janitor to the reverend and the lawyer. We were together. Now we get so high and mighty that you create stress for your society because you don't like poor black folks either. That's a health problem. Get yourself together so I can stop being taking care of geriatric people and get back to pediatrics. I thank you, Doni, for all you've done. Let's keep doing it all the more.
Letting His glory shine through. Dare to be you, dare to be me, dare to be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting His glory shine through. And I dare you, I dare you, I dare you to be you.
First name's Doni, last name's Glover, in it to win it for the long haul, baby. All right, all right, all right. It's election time. We hope that you are looking at who you are going to vote for if you haven't already voted. Early voting is in effect until this Thursday. Early voting is in effect here in the city of Baltimore until Thursday. And then next Tuesday, the 14th, it's all official, the official election day of 2024. So today, my friends, you see I have on my red and blue tie and try to get a little matching handkerchief there because we have a very special guest today. So for all of you couture lovers and even lovers of haberdasheries, we have the one and only JodyDavis.com. Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
Good morning, Doni. I'm doing well, thank you.
Did I represent you well?
You did. Thank you very much. I didn't know we were coming dressed. You should have told me.
This is the Emmy-nominated. Of course we're dressed. Jody Davis, how have you been? What have you been up to?
I have been on a hustle and grind, as you know, as we all entrepreneurs are constantly doing, growing and scaling. Thankful to still be in business, designing women's wear for women, not just locally, but nationally.
Internationally.
Internationally, yes. Thank you.
Okay. So, first of all, who does your hair?
Her name is Jennifer, actually. Dang, and I can't think of, yeah, her name is Jennifer.
Well, you've been wearing fly hairdos since forever.
Thank you, Doni. And now that it has turned gray, I have to learn how to go with the flow. You know, as we mature, things change, whether we want them to change or not. And so I've had to embrace this gray hair, or I've chosen to embrace it because, you know, the alternative was to be without hair. So, yeah, I'm embracing the gray.
Or you could color it. You could, you know, color it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. What about the glasses? The glasses.
I get questions about my frames all of the time. I have this phenomenal woman out of Washington D.C. Her company is called These Eyes of Mines. She is a is entrepreneur that just has some awesome pieces, and I have chosen, since I have to wear frames, I like to pride myself on finding frames that kind of represent who I am in fashion.
And they have to be unique. You can't have seen them on somebody else, right?
Well, I like my own individual style. So what works for me not necessarily works for somebody else. So I just go with what works for me. I'm not, I'm not opposed to somebody else having the frames, but I go with something a little. I like something different, avant-garde, non-traditional looks. So that's what I go for.
So I'm glad you said that. So before I ask you about women's clothing, I want to ask you, why do they make men's suits, the pants, so damn tight these days? What are they going for? Because I like I'm old, I'm traditional, I don't like all of this. It's like damn sweatpants.
I understand, Donnie, but you are a man that will embrace change. So in fashion, just it evolves in every 20, 30 years. It goes back to what you may have been comfortable with. But right now, the look is tight. It is extremely tight. Yeah. The Europeans, that's how they've been wearing those looks for many years. And it takes a while before the styles come across the water. But yeah, but the pants seem to be loosening up a bit. They were extremely tight a couple of years ago, but they're loosening up.
Okay, so what have you been working on? You like to go to Italy, I know.
I love to go to Italy, so much so that I have been studying the language so that when I go back, I can parler un poquito Italian. Like I love the language. I love the cities. I love Venice. I love Florence. Um, I will more than likely be going to Paris soon to go to one of the fabric shows, like one of the largest shows in the nation, or in the globe rather, and just always sourcing for beautiful fabrics and notions and trims. Like I was looking at the amazing looks from the New York Met Gala last night, and just to see all of the creativity and the work that goes into those looks is it could be weeks, months that go into putting together one gown, one dress. I just love the aesthetics of fashion. I love the construction of fashion. I love to just look at things and try to determine how did they make that, how did they put that thing together. That's my love language. I love fashion. I love fabrics. I love trims. And so I'm always working on creating a new look.
So Jody, Ann Lowe is one of your sheroes, correct?
She is, yes.
Who was Ann Lowe?
She was the designer who designed for, say, like the Kennedys, those women of means and status, well before, and she didn't get the notoriety, she didn't get the exposure, she didn't even get paid what she was worthy of. And it's unfortunate that now she's getting publicity and notoriety now when she can't appreciate it. But she was an amazing designer, African American designer, couture designer. Had to be a self-taught skill set, and she was just to be commissioned from people of such means, it really showed the magnitude of her work and her capabilities.
But you ain't no slouch, Jody. You've been commissioned once or twice yourself.
And Doni, and I don't take it lightly, and I am thankful for the opportunities. I'm thankful for the exposure, but more importantly, I am thankful for the gift that has been bestowed upon me, and thankful that not only was I given the gift, but given the will and the courage and the tenacity to follow this dream, and deal with the ebbs and flows, the wins, the lessons, the all of the things that comes with being an entrepreneur, being an artist, finding your way, feeling, figuring out your path when there has been no path that you could follow.
So where do you come from?
I come from a very small street in West Baltimore. Grew up in a community where not on that block, there was several of us family members, like we had maybe a couple of cousins that had houses on that street, and then neighbors that had other family members that lived on the street. And it was a sense of community. It was a sense where your neighbors could discipline you. They looked out for you. We looked out for each other. You knew everybody's name. It was a time when you could go and knock on somebody's door and ask for a cup of sugar. Like, it was that type of thing. And in today's world, you barely know your neighbors if you know them at all. There is no sense of community there. The world has changed. And I think the internet although it has its advantages, it also has its drawbacks. And so yeah, I'm from West Baltimore, the hood of Baltimore City, and just thankful that I've not succumbed to become a product of my environment, but to have been coached and encouraged by my family, my friends, the neighbors, who evidently saw something in me before I saw it in myself, and so gave me encouragement to go out, do, and be. I remember I was probably like 20 years old, and I had already started designing, and I had done a prom dress for this young lady, and her mother happened to be a model over in Paris. And because I did that dress, the mother invited me to come to visit her overseas, and I was the first one in my neighborhood to have caught a plane at 20 years old, went out of the country, and it just opens up your eyes and makes you see that if you could see it, you could be it. Possibilities are endless.
So Jody, I've been interviewing you for about 15 years or so, and I just want to say, JodyDavis.com, that your interviews have evolved as well. I remember when getting you to answer a question was kind of like pulling a tooth, and now look at you, you're like the Today Show.
Thank you, Doni. Yes, I do remember those early interviews. Thank you.
So what high school do you claim?
I claim Western High School, which is like a nationally acclaimed high school now. It's on the map. Western High School, and it has produced some amazing alumni.
I went to school next door to you for a couple of years.
You went to Poly?
Yes, I did.
Oh, did you? Okay.
For 2 years.
Okay.
And then we had a mutual agreement that it was time for us to
part ways.
Yes, for now.
And it's okay. And it is okay. But look at you now. Look at you now.
No, I love Poly. Poly, about discipline. Poly, one thing most people go to Poly know that you learn at 14, 15 years old that you won't be hanging out this weekend.
Yes, you do.
You won't be hanging out after school.
I agree.
You'll be more than likely, especially in the A course, you'll be studying 2 to 3 hours tonight and tomorrow night and the next night and so on and so forth. And I also tell you, it was my first time in citywide competition. And
Really?
it was new being in a classroom with white kids who were really, really sharp.
I agree.
And who had exposure that I didn't
That
have.
we didn't have. Exactly.
I didn't like that part. I didn't like competing on uneven footing.
But you're all the wiser because of it. You may not have liked it then, but it has helped to shape and develop you into who you are.
It probably wasn't no joke. And then I transferred from there to go to Dunbar. But in your experiences, was there any culture shock for you?
Well, that you mentioned, when I went to Western, the makeup was probably 50-50, 50 black, 50 white. And it helped to give me a sense of confidence to be comfortable in any environment. Coming out of the inner city, when you were not used to being around people that didn't look like you, it could have you with some drawbacks. But going to Western helped broaden my vision, my horizon, and it just made me see that the world is a large place, and to be able to fit in, you have to be able to maneuver. And Western helped prepare me for living in New York City. Like, living in New York City was no joke, but I was comfortable and confident in that environment because of where I had come from. So what I had learned in high school taught me that, we're all people, we're all human beings, and you fit in just like the next person.
I have to ask you, I'm working on my 3rd book.
Awesome.
And one of the topics that I'm working on as we speak is about the need to move beyond Baltimore. Now,
It is
I had a passport, but I mean, so there's a young lady, Jet Miller. You may know her, cosmetologist, and Jet was always telling me about her trips to New York.
Okay.
And I have known you in that same time, and I know you went to, among other places, Italy.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm getting to is that in order for a person to be truly great, you got to leave Baltimore.
You have to leave Baltimore.
Why?
You have to leave Baltimore to see what the world has to offer. There's so much more. It just broadens your thought pattern. It expands your creativity. It makes you feel capable that all things are possible. Like I've traveled to Italy probably 4 or 5 times, Paris 5 times. I've been to Morocco. I've gone to some places, and and to see how other cultures live, and you think that you have it bad, but in Morocco, in Marrakesh, it's like, oh my gosh, what I think is just something minimal and menial is something that these people praise and appreciate. So just to get out of your environment, and then of course in Cannes, like in Monte Carlo, to see how those people live, like on those mega yachts, and just people just out lounging and enjoying their vacations, to see how the rich live and how those less fortunate live. It just helps you to see that we are blessed people. Yeah, we have challenges and all those things, but just to see that there's so much more culturally. I know when we went to Morocco, we had a tour guide, and we were I don't know what we were talking about, but he was talking about some goats that climb trees, and I'm thinking to myself, you got to be kidding me. Like, please, I want to see some goats that's climbing some trees. And he said, I can't guarantee it, but they took us to this house, and we got My friends got those tattoos or whatever put on, and then we were riding up the mountain, and he said it was some camels on the side of the road, and then he was like, "Oh my gosh, there are some goats in the tree." So we jumped out of the van, and lo and behold, there were goats, and it's just like, oh my gosh. So just to see stuff like that, just to make you, and these goats up there eating, they were eating figs or something like that, and it's just like, it was just a normal day for them. I mean, way up in the tree like this. So just to see stuff like that, like that, you hear about it, but just to see it and experience it, it's just like a daggone amazing. It's an amazing thing. And Doni, you know, when I start talking, you can always stop me, because I could now. I remember when you were saying you asked me a question, and it was like pulling teeth. Now you ask me a question, and I won't stop talking. So feel free to stop me at any time.
I'm proud of you, sister. You have been a sister to me. You have made sure that I didn't look like a clown going out the door because I needed a little help.
Thank you, Doni, and I appreciate you. And I will say, Doni Glover, whenever you see the phone ringing and it's Doni Glover, I have said it before and I'll say it again. I don't know what it is, what magic you have, but anybody and everybody you call, they pick up the phone for you. And I commend you, my brother.
Well, thank you for being my sister. Take me to what did you think when you first touched Africa?
Well, when we first touched down, I thought, oh my gosh, it's hot. Now I will tell you that. Like we went on, the tour guide took us to all these different museums and just out and about. And I will tell you, one of the last museums we went to, it was so hot that I literally almost fainted. And I said, enough of these museums. I don't want to see another thing. We appreciate it. You know, the tour guide was excited. He wanted to tell us the history and all. And I thought it was amazing. And the one thing that I really did enjoy was he took us to a garden, and it was a garden that was curated by Yves Saint Laurent. It was a small garden, and they had these koi fish, like these huge koi fish, and just the greenery, the forestry was just amazing. But at that moment, there was a little bookstore in the middle of the garden, and it was a bookstore for Yves Saint Laurent, and they had the story, the history of how he took over this garden, and it was in ruins, and they were about to condemn it, and he took it and he brought it back to life. But there was the bookstore, and then one of my friends said, "Are you going to buy a book?" And I said, "No." And that's when the birth of the book of Jody was birthed. So I am now working on my book. And so, as you say, why do you need to get out of your environment? It's because it opens up your whole world. And so I have that in my diary. My friends that were with me at the time, we all touched and agreed that in Morocco is where Jody decided to do the book of Jody. So I am working on that as we speak.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What's something that will be in the book?
It will be my story. Like, you know, when I'm out and about, I'm always pretty shocked when people recognize me. First of all, I'm thinking to myself, or I may ask, how did you know it was me? Is it because of my hair? Like, what is it that made you recognize me? So I'm going to talk about my story. Like, what I look at and think of is not such a huge accomplishment. Others look at it and see and say, wow, you've done some stuff. And I feel it's because I'm walking in my gift. I'm using my gift. So not realizing that my gifts are bringing joy to others. And so I'm going to just talk about that. Like, you know, people talk about the fact that I designed the look for the first lady, the governor's wife, the first African-American governor of Maryland. And how did I feel once I saw her? And I said then, and I'll say now, that it is if I had nothing to do with it. So that's why I know that I'm walking in my gift, because I know that I designed the dress. I know that I made the pattern. I know that I sourced the fabrics. I know that I did fittings with her. And the day of the inauguration, I saw her. You know, I was there. You know, we made sure she was dressed properly. Everything was as it should be. And I was in the audience just watching them come down the steps and all. And it didn't hit me until I got home that night. I actually got in just as the news was coming on. I turned on the television. And as soon as I turned the television on, they had a picture of the first lady and the governor walking down the steps. And I was taken aback. I was like, oh my gosh, they look amazing. But it was still as if I had nothing to do with it. So, you know, those type of things.
You had to pinch yourself?
I did, Doni, and I'm still pinching myself. It's just like,
oh no, it's no. When are we going to the White House?
I hope in another 4 years.
Oh, you haven't done Kamala's dress?
I have not.
Well, Jody, we're going to have to talk about that because, you know, I've been there a few times and I've met a person or two. I'm sure they would take your dress.
Oh, well, listen, let's speak it into existence, Doni. If you're able to get it done.
Well, I can get it done, but there's just a little small something I may need from you. There's a haberdashery that you know about, and they have really nice things there. Really nice things.
They have amazing things. Yes, that European flair is what they have at the Haberdashery Benedetto at 324 Park Avenue. Yes.
Yes. You've been my meal ticket there for quite some time. I've come away with some dazzling pieces because of you.
We can make some stuff happen, believe me.
That's what I want to hear. Well. All right. We need to get you to Kamala right away. I'll be making a phone call as soon as this show is over.
Awesome.
But really, this book is important too. Will you have Ann Lowe inspired you, among others?
Oh, I would definitely say Ann Lowe inspired me. One of my favorite designers is Alexander McQueen, and he had such a tragic death, but he was such an amazing artist. And I remember going to the exhibit they had for Alexander McQueen at the in New York at the, what is that museum? Can't even think of the name of the museum. Was it no, it wasn't the Met. But I went to the exhibit and to just see the magnitude of his work from when he started, how you could see, and it reminds me of, like me, how I started, and your fabrics were subpar, not the best. And then, of course, as you grow and you become more of the designer, the recognized designer, and how his fashions evolved and just got better and better and more amazing. Those type of things, like others who inspired me to do what I do.
The Metropolitan Museum of Art?
I think it was. I think that's the Met. Yeah, that's the Met. The Met, Metropolitan Museum of Art, is probably where the exhibit was.
Jody, what advice would you have for little girls in Baltimore?
My advice would be to try to not limit yourself, to know that all things are possible. I would say not just for the little girls, but for those who are helping to raise the little girls, expose the young ladies, expose the young men to things. Either it's a book or it's an experience. Take a trip somewhere. Even if you have to go the low route, take a bus, take a train, go somewhere, get out of your community. One of the things that made me know that I wanted to live in New York City, I was at Lamel Junior High School. I went to Lamel Junior High School.
Ho. Time out. Pump the brakes. Mr. Producer, Mr. Director, hold up. I went to Lamel. Maybe I should have started there. Oh, yes. So we didn't just say from inner city Baltimore over to the Poly Western Complex. We talking about from Lamel. Jody, this was Lamel. I was an A student, but you better throw them hands.
That is the truth, Doni. Exactly. I went to Lamel. Lamel told you to have tough skin. But one of the things I learned at Lamel, they took us on a trip to see the Wiz in New York City. And when I stepped off the bus in New York City to see the Wiz, I knew instantly that I wanted to live in New York City. And so when you can write the vision, or you can feel the vision, or you can feel the opportunities, as the Bible says, write the vision and make it plain. Those experiences help you to evolve and grow. And Lamel High School, if I learned nothing else, I learned how to expand my horizons.
Was Mr. Murphy the principal?
He was the principal. Gosh, you just brought back memories. Yes, Mr. Murphy was the principal.
Mr. Murphy
He was
had
an
that little,
amazing principal.
yeah, that slick hair. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
every day after school, somebody was going down that hill head first. And it wasn't going to be me.
Yes.
That was my
That's
one
what
goal. Somebody going down this hill, but it's not going to be me. That was my
it's not.
goal every day.
Exactly. Yeah, there were lots of fights. And I even was just mentioning, remember how you used to have to walk through the path from you, or at least the way we walked to school, you had to walk through that little path.
The train tracks or the polluted?
No, it was like the polluted, and you had to be like, all kinds of stuff will happen. So you had to be mindful of your surroundings, who was around you, all of that kind of stuff. It was a real
Yeah.
thing.
I remember security guards got beat up at Lamel. Big
Yes.
polo security guards. Once the pack hit them, it was ball game.
It was.
Jody, can we take a bit of a pause before we finish up the second half? We want to do a bit of a commercial. Nia Valentine, are you in the background there for me?
I am.
Okay, hold tight for a minute, Jody. We're going to talk about, oh, you look dazzling there. Good morning, good morning.
Yeah.
So here's your time to shine. You're going to do your commercial, Nia Valentine?
Absolutely. How are you this morning?
I'm good.
That's good. So my name is Nia. I am the founder and CEO of Valentine Integrative Health. I manage pain through health and wellness, and I ensure that I come to you and work with you to manage your pain and take you under my tutelage so that we can improve your pain through not only medication management, but also through right diet, right exercise, and other modalities such as a different exercise we can do. There are different procedures, or not even injections, but I do injections, but there's also therapies that we can do to kind of help manage your pain. But weight loss oftentimes has a huge impact on our pain. And so I do medical weight loss, and I am able to come up with a plan for you, a nutrition plan, an exercise plan. And also if it's in your bag, I can also prescribe medication.
You're good. Keep going.
Oh, sorry about that. So basically,
Keep going.
all of those things through the medication weight loss. I can also help you with if you're having urinary or bladder leakage. I'm able to help you improve your bladder leakage so that you don't have to constantly run to the bathroom or wear different type of like pull-ups or depends type of a thing. And that is a session that usually just needs one session. And I do offer multiple sessions if you need a follow-up after a year or so, and that's all included. I do accept insurances, United Healthcare, Medicaid, Medicare, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Cigna, Aetna. So I do accept insurances. I also do accept cash paying and have credit care. So if you aren't able to pay all of the money up front, I do offer services that you can do a payment plan. But basically, Valentine Integrative Health is pain management, and I manage your pain through health and wellness. And so I'm here. My phone number is 443-501-9201. And I can be reached through my website, valentineintegrativehealth.com. And on there, there's a contact me button, you can contact me. Just shoot me your name, email address, and a phone number, and I will get back to you within 24-hour business hours.
I gotta ask you, why did you start this business?
So I kind of started it out of necessity. So realizing that I had a mother who was having some physical challenges, some health challenges, and knew that healthcare also was changing. And so I started out of that so that I could have just a little bit more flexibility to help and be there for my mother. But then also knowing that I needed to be able to provide more of a one-to-one, not kind of a 10 minutes you're in and out, but actually giving the patient the time and the effort that they needed to kind of help guide them through their pain and wellness journey. And so oftentimes, as we see, there's often you're in, you sit down, they ask you a few questions, and then you're out and they're on to the next patient. And that's not what I wanted to do. So started out of necessity, but really realized that pain management, after being a nurse practitioner for over 15 years, that this was really my calling, and being able to really develop rapport with patients and kind of allowing them to really understand who I am and what I can bring to them. And that's kind of why I started this business.
Well, Nia Valentine, thank you for supporting our business. Special thank you also to Rondi Griffin. And we want to also thank you. You are a Black Wall Street honoree. So we have a big one coming up June 26th. We hope that you can come through.
Thank you so very much. Thank you for having me. And you guys have a great rest of your week.
Absolutely. You too.
Right.
Thank you, Nia.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye. So, Jody, we're all about entrepreneurship. Did you ever get a Black Wall Street award, Jody?
I don't think so, Doni. I can't be sure.
So, Jody, we want to let you know on June 26th, we're going to make this happen. You will be getting, I know you got a Black Wall Street award. Ain't no way all the damn suits you got me. But anyway, we're going to get you an updated one for June 26th. You mentioned
Awesome. Thank you.
You mentioned going to Lamel. I want you to tell me about the need for partners out here. Yes, Kevin comes to mind, but there are also media partners. I know you have partnered with people across from the East Coast to the West Coast. Tell me about the significance of partnerships and this is what, your 5th year in business, 6th?
Oh, no, Doni, this is my 14th year. Going on 15. Thank you. Thank you.
What partnership? What's the significance of partnerships?
The significance of partnerships is that, like, you are an expert in marketing, you are expert in interviewing folks, and that's not my expertise. So to partner with you will help bring awareness to not just my business, but your business as well. Partnerships lets you be able to do what you do at that expertise level, and then let the other person, the partner, do what they do at their expert level, and the merging will just bring a phenomenal product. There are a couple of people that I've partnered with in the past. It just helps you. Going 1, you can get there slowly, but going 2, 3, 4, you can get there at lightning speed. So partnering is the thing that helps us all grow, helps us all scale at a magnitude that we cannot do alone. No,
I'm sorry.
There's no I in team. I mean, you need a team.
So a lot of times Baltimore gets Baltimore, just look at the local news. Fox alone, they throw shade on Baltimore, Black Baltimore in particular, every day.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen it more than me. They are haters. But what happens for a Baltimorean that gets outside of Baltimore? You got to know what I mean. What do they think of us internationally, nationally? Baltimore.
Well, once you get past the wire, once they realize there's so much more than the wire, they look at Baltimore as a city that's creative, that a city that's growing and thriving, a city there where there's opportunities if they can get past the negative. Like you see the negative narrative of Baltimore, but Baltimore is growing at a lightning speed pace. There are people in droves coming to Baltimore, moving to Baltimore, buying in Baltimore, buying up real estate in Baltimore. And of course, there are naysayers or haters that once they see see that you are getting above, as some would think, getting above yourself, then they want to try to throw dirt on you to kind of hold you down. But Baltimore is a gem, and it's like a diamond in the rough, and we're shining up every single day. We're shining up every single day.
I found that the Baltimorean has a unique grit and hustle that once we get outside, we master, if not dominate, any industry, any city, anytime, anywhere.
We do.
The people from Baltimore, you can put them up against anybody on a world stage.
Yeah, and it's a lot of us who have left Baltimore and have excelled. And then there's some, once they leave and excel, have come back to help bring somebody else along. So yeah, I mean, Baltimore, as I say, is a diamond in the rough, and there are a lot of diamonds here in Baltimore.
Jody, this is coming out of left field. Do you do any mentoring?
Oh yes, Doni. I do mentoring. I have interns. I do internships. And I find with my interns, they leave with so much more experience and exposure just by being present. The half of the battle of whatever it is you want to do is showing up. Showing up on time, showing up with the will and the desire to grow and learn. And so I'm all about mentoring, because I have gotten to this point by somebody else helping me along. Like I spoke to one of my mentors recently, and he complimented me on my accomplishment of having my collection showcased and sold at Neiman Marcus in Atlanta. And I thanked him for his mentorship. But what he came back and said is, but it was you who put the work in. And it's all about, you can mentor, all day long, but it's the mentee that has to show the desire, the will, the courage to learn and pick up what you're putting down.
Jody, you say that so eloquently. There's some people, they so stingy they wouldn't help Jesus. That's why that stuff don't get blessed. They've been in position for a long time, and if you ask them who is the next you, they don't have an answer. They didn't even mentor their own damn kids.
Right.
Don't get me started. In Baltimore, we got some stingy people. New York got some stingy ones too. But I tell you, when I leave outside of Baltimore, I get love. I ain't saying I don't get love in Baltimore, but PG, DC, New York, Atlanta, oh my God.
You get it. Right. Well, it's always said a prophet is not welcome in his own home.
I'm going to take it at home, and I'm going abroad too. So just get out the way, because I'm going to get it anyway.
That's the mentality that we have in Baltimore. If you don't give it to me, I'm going to get it anyway.
So you might as well share.
Might as well share.
You look at some people in this city, and I'm going to leave this alone after this, but they've been doing this for 20 years, doing that for 20 years, and you ask them, well, who is the next you?
Mm-hmm.
And so stingy, they can't even name anybody.
Wow. Well,
I pride myself on who I pass the ball to.
It's important. Yeah.
And my job is not done until they pass the ball.
Right.
Until they understand the significance of passing the ball. Diane Bell, that's one of my mentors. She passed the ball. She ain't got
Yeah.
no problem passing the ball. And
Yeah.
I'll round the back, alley-oop, whatever. Donnie, I need
Exactly.
this, no problem.
No problem.
And taking care of those people who blessed you, you
Yeah.
know?
It's important.
What else you want to talk about, Jody?
I don't know, Donnie. You come up with some amazing questions. I mean, listen. What else do you want to talk about? What are your are there any questions from your audience? I'm seeing something come up across the screen.
This is Cynthia Boykin. She has a brand. And
I know Cynthia.
you know
She's
Cynthia?
with Boss Network. Yeah, with the Boss Network.
Bad girl. She's from New York. But she's out of Chicago these days.
Okay.
When I tell you, I've got more love from this sister right here than people in Baltimore. A total stranger.
Right.
Sends you business, sends you connections, links you with people. She's a rare one right here. What you need is, that's a brand out of Chicago. She's national, as you mentioned, the Boss Network. But let me ask you, speaking of Chicago, we all know New York. Do you ever go to Chicago?
I do go to Chicago, and the goal is to do a pop-up at that Neiman Marcus in Chicago during the holiday. So, you know, just working out, making those connections, sourcing out opportunities. So yeah, Chicago has a lot of style, and I have clients in Chicago. I look forward to being in Chicago soon.
Okay, well, they sending all kinds of you got fans, they watching you from all over the place. Oh, I was at an event with Brandon Scott this weekend, and I just got a message. It says, "So you know you just endorsed him." I've left this mayoral race alone. I don't know if you've noticed. City Council President, we like Nick Mosby.
We love Nick Mosby. Yes, Nick Mosby for the win.
Like Nick too?
I love Nick Mosby. Nick has done some amazing things for the city, and we are hopeful that they elect him back in so he can keep the momentum going.
I will share this with you, Jody, that when you and I and Kevin, we've had conversations, do we not vet these candidates? Do we not like go through them like, oh, I know this, you know that? And I mean, we've been serious about it. If they're not about supporting your business, Kevin's business, Benedetto Haberdashery, 324 Park Avenue, if they're not serious about supporting me, we don't BS each other. Ain't none of that happening.
Yeah.
Keep it real.
Keeping it real. Yeah. And so it's important to vet the candidates, but to see the track record. And I know Nick Mosby has been an advocate for particularly small businesses, for communities.
He went to Benedetto, right?
Yeah, he did. But I'm just saying, he goes to bat for the communities, not just the businesses, but communities as a whole. And so just to have him reelected into that office to continue the trajectory of what he's doing, I'm comfortable and confident with all that are in position right now, because I'm seeing a change. I'm a business owner in downtown Baltimore, and I'm seeing a change. Like when I moved here about almost 15 years ago, the downtown was desolate. You now see cranes up in the air. You see the communities becoming more walkable. Businesses are growing, and more businesses are showing up. Now my biggest concern is parking. Like, you know, now we're getting all this activity. We want to talk about parking, but just the fact that downtown is changing. Like, it's been desolate for almost 30 years. And now you come downtown and you see almost every block there's activity of renovation. So you can't take that lightly. You can't just say it just all of a sudden happened. No, it's for leadership that has helped to turn this thing around.
I tell you one thing Brandon has said that I love. He talks about Baltimore as the blackest city in America. And honestly, to hear any black politician so boldly talk about Baltimore's blackness warms my soul. I have never heard it before now. Never, ever, never.
And I think it's because of the young leadership that they see the vision and just want to take us to a different level. And so my hope is that the administration that's in now continues to be able to do what they're doing to continue to help the city grow and thrive. And no city is perfect, but just to see the change is really inspiring.
So, one, let me give you Cynthia's comment. Yes, we need Jody to be gala ready for the Chicago Urban League Gala in November and the Legacy Awards weekend in February.
Oh, wow. Awesome, Cynthia. Cynthia, reach out to me. Have Cynthia reach out to me. I haven't talked to her in a while.
Okay. But I want to go back to downtown Baltimore. We can't mention downtown Baltimore Black business. JodyDavis.com. Was that 110 West Saratoga Street?
110 West Saratoga. Yes. And the website is Jody Davis.
And not throwing a plug for Shalonda Stokes, huh?
Oh, we definitely got to show plug for Shalonda Stokes, president of Downtown Partnership, who has just hit the ground running with all that she is bringing to the community. When you come downtown now, you see the jumbotrons up on the buildings. It's making you think that you're in New York or Chicago somewhere. Like the streets are clean. Like you walk outside, if there's some trash outside, you can see Downtown Partnership's team coming around to get that debris up. You see the streets are lit. People are walking downtown at night now. So it's not just by happenstance that these things are happening. It's because of the leadership that is in place that are doing things for the city of Baltimore, not just one group of people, but the city of Baltimore. And so much so people are interested now in coming to Baltimore to see what we have to offer. And we're excited. I mean, we got new restaurants and the Civic Center. I don't even know what it's called now, but just the fact that place every weekend almost is filled with some entertainer, all amazing entertainers that are coming in. Like all of this stuff didn't just happen. It is strategic planning and partnerships in downtown Baltimore is bringing opportunities and bringing change to the city of Baltimore. So shout out to Shalonda Stokes of Downtown Partnership.
She's also helped make downtown Baltimore attractive to Black businesses.
She really has with that Boost program. They got facade grants. I mean, they have things to attract businesses to come downtown. I will be one to shout out. I've been downtown, I will say it, for almost 15 years now. And it's the place to be. You want to get in before it's too late. Get in before it's too late.
Good stuff. We're so proud of you, Jody. What's next for Jody Davis? JodyDavis.com.
JodyDavis.com, of course, is always working on the next collection, but the book of Jody is coming soon. The book of Jody, and there's some partnerships that I'm working on that I won't disclose until, you got to wait till all this stuff is really final and that. So some partnerships that I'm working on. And so I'm just thankful to be here and growing and learning and teaching. And the Jody Davis Foundation is now in existence. And so the Jody Davis Foundation is to help those younger folks, guys and girls who are interested in arts, not just fashion, but in arts. And so the goal of the Jody Davis Foundation is to help students that are going to matriculate to learn in the arts, help with their, like their tuition or their books or something like that. So we will be doing our first, I don't know if we're going to call it a gala, but our first event by the end of this year.
I want to be down. Put me down.
Got you.
Any final thoughts, Jody?
My thoughts are, thank you, first of all, Doni Glover, for reaching out to me to have me come on to your show.
Emmy-nominated.
Emmy-nominated show. Thank you. Kudos to you for just doing a phenomenal job, for just being who you are and staying the course and telling our stories. What is it? The news before the news?
Very good. Where we uncover the truth.
When you uncover the truth. Thank you so much.
I'd like to uncover a couple of them leather jackets down there, Benedetto haberdashery, but we gonna save that for another. Kevin got some of the baddest clothes I've ever seen. I got a wool coat out of there. You got me a wool coat. Oh my God. Oh my God. The only thing that you get a little older, pick up a pound or two, but thank you for all that you have done for me.
Thank you, Doni. Thank you. And Kevin appreciate you. Yes, Kevin Scott of Benedetto. Just that haberdashery down here on Park Avenue, growing and thriving. Come and see us.
Good deal. Jody, I'm so proud of you. Keep
Thank you,
shining,
Doni.
keep traveling, keep mentoring, keep learning our history, and Lowe and others. Keep passing the ball, and keep being that pioneer that you are. You said there was no one that you really could go to who had opened the pathway for you.
That's true. Yeah, other than things you read about, there's no real person. Or Everett Hall, my mentor, who's had his men's store on Wisconsin Avenue for almost 30 years. So, but yeah, I will say that recently I've become a part of, it's called the, Beth Ann Hardison created a group with the Council for Fashion Designers of America, a group of African-American designers, and to be able to go and sit and talk with other folks that look like me that are doing some things in the fashion industry is also important. And Beth Ann would call me the odd woman out because I was basically one of the only ones that would come in out of town just to come to the meetings. And so, it's important to be mentored.
Hold up. Beth Ann, that's not the lady from the Alvin the Ailey, is it?
No, Beth Ann, she had the modeling agency, one of the first Black modeling agencies in New York City. She was like she was the one who helped. She has now, her movie is called The Invisible Beauty, which is a must see. She's very good friends with Iman, like her and Iman are best friends. And she helped Naomi Campbell when she first got into the U.S.
Madison's mama?
Huh? Yeah, exactly. Yes, Beth Ann Hardison. And she's a powerhouse. She's an amazing woman who works to help people to look like her.
Okay. I didn't know, and now I know. It's okay not to know.
It's okay. That's right.
That's why you keep sharp people around you.
And every day we should be learning.
That's right. That's right. West Baltimore, Jody, with the wicked hairdos, keeping Baltimore on the map. Baltimore women had the wickedest hairdos when I was growing up, the most wicked of all of America.
That's right. That's right. Listen, and Safi is one of the baddest stylists here in Baltimore. So she's somebody you want to look out for as well.
Safi.
Yes, Safia. Yeah, I can't think of the pronunciation, but Safi for short.
Okay, good deal. The one and only Jody Davis. Thank you so much as always. Up to day, down tomorrow. Do your day, and everything will follow. Nothing to it but to do it. I got to do it, regardless of how I feel. I am somebody. I am my brother's keeper. Good morning, world.